What a lot of people do wrong in e-com and still are doing wrong today, and this is why we try and kind of we never try to sell, we almost try to educate people, because they're leaving money on the table, like literally, is they're driving traffic to stores. So they're driving traffic to stores, they're driving traffic to product pages, and typically 9 times out of 10, we see far bigger and better conversion rates. We're talking about paid media here, paid traffic, when you send traffic to funnels. So when you send traffic to dedicated sales pages, it doesn't even have to be a full funnel. It could just be a one product focused page. And the second you rip everything back and keep it simple, stupid, is the second your conversion rates will go through the roof. So one massive tip that we kind of see a lot of people doing wrong is they'll send traffic to a store with 20, 30, 150 products. And we say to them, hang on a sec, like, do you really care if you sell 100 different products 100 times or one product 100 times? And they're like, we don't care as long as we make money. Like, everyone does this to make money. Let's not shy away from that. So what we say to them is, let's pick your top performing product and let's build a direct response sales funnel. And I'm happy to break that down, but that's just like a one product sales page with no distractions, no nav bar, no links, no clicks anywhere else, no Instagram feeds, no Facebook feeds. So you can't click away from that one product, and instantly they'll get better conversion rates because you're not giving people multiple choice. Like, it's logical sense. When you give people a multiple choice option, they probably don't pick any, but when you just say, pick this one, this is why it's going to benefit you, they normally will do that. And that's why you see much better conversion rates doing it that way. So that's one huge mistake we see.
Hey guys, Alex Fedotoff here, and today we have a very special guest. We have Oliver Kenyon. So Oliver is a very successful entrepreneur, and he's an expert in pretty much conversion rate and making landing page, whatever you have, convert at a high rate and making it profitable. So wanted to connect with Oliver. We've interacted a few times whenever had a conversation. We finally connected, and I want to pick up his brain on how to make conversion rates higher, because everyone is buying traffic, everyone is talking about like Facebook, like all of traffic channels and new channels now, like Snapchat ads and all of the other channels. But at the end of the day, like, if your website doesn't convert, or if you're not getting the most out of your traffic, then pretty much it's hard to be profitable. And especially if you do like higher volume. So very excited to connect with you, Oliver, and thank you for joining.
Thank you. Thanks for the inviting me to be on. It's a real pleasure to be on here. And you touched on a few really cool things, and just in your intro when you said like everyone kind of always talks about traffic, and it's always, we go to these shows, I've seen you at shows before, and it's always about scaling. How can I scale? How can I get more Facebook accounts? How can I get lower clicks, cost per click and stuff? But often people forget about the last step, which is that sales page, that funnel, that landing page. And you can actually squeeze out far better results by optimizing your sales pages and funnels than you can by scaling traffic. So hopefully we'll share some good tips that some of your viewers can really make some difference in their conversion rates.
Start with like landing pages. That's just you just seeing this problem constantly with entrepreneurs with landing pages, or
Again, I'd love to give you that story of, yes, it was a massive problem and I filled the gap, and it's never really happens like that. I'm going to be honest with you. Obviously, I had this affiliate forum, and I didn't even know that the affiliate forum was created to discuss affiliate marketing with close people. It was never meant to be. I didn't even know you could monetize forums. Like, I didn't have a clue. It was never meant to make money. It was never meant to grow. But all of a sudden, more and more people started joining this forum. And then one day, a mutual friend of mine, I've seen you've interviewed him before, I've seen you interviewed before, a guy called Tim Bird, who approached me. He back in the day, he had an affiliate network called Plus, and he approached me on the affiliate forum and asked if he could put some banners on the forum, and he was going to give me money. And I was like, what? Shit, like, I can make money from this? Like, I was mind blown. I was like, yeah, Tim, sure, send me some money, I'll put your banner up, it's all good. So Tim was my first ever paid advertiser on Affiliate Fix. Now, he then saw that I had a really nice looking forum. I had a really nice looking blog, because I was blogging at the same time on oliverkenyon.com. And he asked if he could basically be introduced or utilize my design developer. And I kind of thought, well, I could either intro you, or I can obviously arbitrage this and effectively white label it and kind of resell my designer and developer services to you, Tim. Like, Tim wasn't a close friend back then. He was just a guy that I knew who paid for some advertising. So again, Tim was actually our first ever client for what is now Landing Page Guys, about 7-8 years ago, and is now still a client of ours and a good friend of mine as well. But he approached me and said, I want to use your design developer to build some landing pages. Now, again, I kind of just was the middleman back then. I was just like, right, well, Tim, you pay me X amount. I'll give Y amount to my guys and take a cut in the middle and manage the project. But he started doing volume. These pages started converting. He was working with a very large debt consolidation company in the US at the time, doing massive volume of lead gen. And our pages would out-convert these guys who've been building pages for years. So he started plowing more and more money in. And I brought my co-founder, Andy, in. He met me through Affiliate Fix, Andy did. At first I hired him for about 2 weeks until we both realized that we're better off as partners than we are than he is as my employee, because all the stuff that he's bad at, I'm good at, and all the stuff I'm very bad at, he's very good at. So we complemented each other. And Tim was our first ever client, and then more and more people would ask. So Tim would introduce other affiliates, other people who he worked with, and we just started building up this kind of real reputation for being the go-to place to build landing pages. Now, we weren't even called Landing Page Guys back then. We were some generic design development company trying to do everything. But the second we niched down to be called the Landing Page Guys, the second we kind of changed as a business and blew up. And, the kind of, again, I don't want to use a cliche, but the rest is history. But we've been doing this now for 6-7 years, and we've been seriously kind of focused on scaling and growing our internal team and culture here for probably like the last 16 months to 2 years now. And it's going really well.
I've seen like many people, like they're saying very good things about your landing page.
Thank you.
Cool. Awesome. And so what kind of like industries you mostly work with right now? Like, you work with e-commerce a lot?
Yeah, lots of ecom. We're doing between 50 and 100 projects per month at the moment. And I would say maybe 60 to 70% of that is ecom. Specifically, a lot of Shopify work, a lot of WooCom. We do work with partners with WordPress, we're partners with Shopify, we're partners with Limelight and Connective as well. So we do a lot of direct response sales pages and sales funnels. But we also do lead generation. We do a lot of lead gen. We do a lot of kind of pre-sales, advertorials, stores, websites, even brochure sites. We basically work across any vertical. It's more about the conversion. It's something that we always say, but a web design is an art form, whereas landing page design is a science. And it's the science that we focus on. We focus on that internal blueprint that we have here that just basically adds up to more conversions. So we have like a blueprint internally, and we have to tick that blueprint off every time we deliver a project. And I'll be happy to share some of that hopefully soon in the school. But that's what we kind of focus on, is that conversion rate. So yeah, we work with loads of different markets. Like the project management team always have good conversations with the different type of clients we bring in, and totally different products across all the kind of spectrum.
Awesome. So what are the main kind of like, so out of all of these things that you do, right? Like, yeah, let's put it that way. What like you're observing a lot of like people. So probably when they want to sell a product, right? They might come with their existing landing page, or they would show you their existing website. So what are the biggest like problems or issues that you're seeing, like, and mistakes, and pretty much like very costly mistakes, obviously, that you're seeing people are making with their like landing pages?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I know, obviously you have an incredible Facebook group and community, and I know a lot of it's kind of ecom focused. So first and foremost, I'll kind of go after that kind of vertical. But what a lot of people do wrong in ecom and still are doing wrong today, and this is why we try and kind of we never try to sell, we almost try to educate people, because they're leaving money on the table, like literally, is they're driving traffic to stores. So they're driving traffic to stores, they're driving traffic to product pages. And typically 9 times out of 10, we see far bigger and better conversion rates. We're talking about paid media here, paid traffic, when you send traffic to funnels. So when you send traffic to dedicated sales pages, it doesn't even have to be a full funnel. It could just be a one product focused page. And the reason for that is because people try to overcomplicate things. They think we have to have 10 products, a big store with related products and Instagram feeds and influencer pictures, and all these kind of things are good, but they're all distractions. The second you rip everything back and keep it simple, stupid, is the second your conversion rates will go through the roof. So one massive tip that we kind of see a lot of people doing wrong is they'll send traffic to a store with 20, 30, 150 products. And we say to them, hang on a sec, like, do you really care if you sell 100 different products 100 times or one product 100 times? And they're like, we don't care as long as we make money. Like, everyone does this to make money. Let's not shy away from that. So what we say to them is, let's pick your top performing product and let's build a direct response sales funnel. And I'm happy to break that down, but that's just like a one product sales page with no distractions, no nav bar, no links, no clicks anywhere else, no Instagram feeds, no Facebook feeds. So you can't click away from that one product, and instantly they'll get better conversion rates because you're not giving people multiple choice. Like, it's logical sense. When you give people a multiple choice option, they probably don't pick any. But when you just say, pick this one, this is why it's going to benefit you, they normally will do that. And that's why you see much better conversion rates doing it that way. So that's one huge mistake we see. Very good.
And so, so yours, let's say, so you're building like the landing pages that you're building, those are like custom landing pages. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
So, and so like, for example, let's say you build like a landing page, does your, and you mentioned that you're partnered with Shopify. Does your, let's say your landing pages, do they integrate with Shopify, or you put?
Yes. Yeah. So 100%. So we understand that everyone's on different platforms and wants to use different gateways and different technologies. To say we can integrate with every single technology out there is stupid of me, but we can pretty much do it. You know, BigCommerce, Shopify, WooCom, Limelight, Connective, Response CRM, you name it, we've probably done it 20 times this month. But we try to either recommend to you which we think would be best if you don't have a back-end integration, or if you come to me and say, you know, we already use Shopify for our store, that's not a problem. We'll build a sales page into your existing theme and just have it on / pages, landing page one, whatever you want to call it. And you don't even have to edit your brochure site in your store. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want people listening to this and going, oh, this guy's an idiot. Like, we need to have a store. Of course you need to have a store. You 100% need to have a store for continuity. You need to have a store for trust, for people who come back, for repeat clients, for customer care, for type-in traffic. You need that branded store. But when you're doing paid media and every click counts, that's when you need those direct response kind of aggressive sales pages. But yeah, as far as the back end, we can we take care of the full integration as well.
Awesome. And so, for example, if someone has a funnel or someone has like a store, they have a product. So this is best-selling product. This is, you know, like pretty much all of the content, all of the copy. We just need like the funnel for it. How much time it typically takes to build like a custom funnel for a specific product?
Yeah, it depends on how much work's in taken, but let's say it's just a one product sales page. You know, again, let's give a case study. Let's say one of your students or one of your Facebook group who's watching now, they sell phones. They sell phones and they sell 10 different phones, but we say to them, pick your best one. Let's build a sales page for that phone. You're already on Shopify. To get a design back, it's normally 2 to 3 working days. So we can have a design to you within 2 to 3 working days. Then it's the middle bit that is basically custom, because it's we as a service. And again, I'm not here to sell. I'd rather kind of offer you guys some tips and kind of some value. But in our internal process, we offer unlimited design revisions. So you can have as many design revisions until you're happy. Now, normally people recognize that we're kind of experts in this. We do hundreds of these per month. And they say, you know, you go lead the way, because that's when you'll probably get the most conversion rates. But sometimes you'll go, you know, we want that change, that change, that change. It's back and forth. But typically speaking, that's 1 to 2 days. And then as soon as you've approved it, it's probably around about 3 to 4 working days to code and integrate into, say, for example, Shopify or WordPress or whatever you want. So it can be as quick as like a week. But obviously, if that back and forth and that revision timeline is longer because you want changes, which is fine, you paid for them, it can be a bit longer.
Cool. And then in terms of the conversion rate that you're seeing with the, obviously that would depend on the price point and kind of like on the niche. Just from your like observation, let's say someone has a funnel on like, let's say like ClickFunnels, you know, other solutions, you know, we'll not name like specific, but let's say, you know, they decide to take that and implement their like custom, you know, funnel with you. So for example, what is the typical difference in the performance
Sure.
in the conversion rate that you're seeing?
Absolutely. Great question. So we obviously can't say for definite because it depends, like you say, on the product, the price point, where they want that page and stuff. Let's quickly touch on ClickFunnels. Me and you had a little chat before the kind of live, and we said about ClickFunnels, and don't get me wrong, like I don't want to ever knock ClickFunnels. It's an incredible product. Russell Brunson's one of the best marketers on the planet. Like it's brilliant, but when you're serious and when you're doing paid media above a certain level, if you're driving your traffic to a ClickFunnel page, you're missing out, you're losing money. And the reason for that is because ClickFunnels is very structured. There's not only so much you can do. Also, it's a software. So don't forget, in the back end, you still have to load all these scripts to load the builder and your page. So the load time is often quadrupled of what we can get it in. And there's a stat that says for every 1 second decrease in load time, you see a 3 to 5% increase in conversion rate. So for every 1 second you get your site loading quicker, you're going to see a huge uplift in conversions. Now, you will never beat a static page. And what I mean by that is not using something like ClickFunnels. So that's why it's so important. But we've had customers, for example, who have been running on ClickFunnels or Unbounce or some other builder, or just not utilizing our pages, like you said, and driving traffic to a store. Their average conversion rates typically range anywhere between 1% and 3%. That's the typical range we'll see on cold traffic, paid traffic to a store or product page. And lately, we've been getting lots of feedback. I mean, I'm not making this up. You can go to our review page, just go to our website and click on reviews. You'll read all of this. But we've had a lot of clients at the moment who we've taken from that kind of 2 up to like the 8, 9% and even more. Now that's not guaranteed, of course, but when you're doing paid media, even 1% is a huge uplift. Now imagine if we could like double or treble your conversion rates, but we are consistently getting 8 to 9% conversion rates on ecom at the moment.
Wow, this is crazy. And in terms of the like, so designs and everything, so that's you helping people, like, do you provide like some options, for example, like, so these are a few options that you can do, or you just basically work with?
Typically, because we've done this so often and this is what we do, we eat, sleep, live, breathe this every single day, we will come up with one concept. However, let's say I sent it to you and you were like, Oliver, I hate it, it doesn't fit with our brand's guidelines, I don't like it. Sometimes if it's if we've used all our conversion principles and we know it's going to convert, we will sit you down and say, okay, we understand, but we advise you to go with this. But if you just wanted us to start from scratch, again, that's your objection. You pay for unlimited revisions. So within your price, you can start again 3, 4, 5 times, however many you want. It rarely happens, but you can. It's in your right. So we wouldn't normally provide multiple concepts. We would just provide one. But again, if you hated it, we'd just start again. However, we do variation pricing because, as you know, better than most people, it's great to split test and it's great to have a few different variations of a page. So we will offer that to you up front.
Definitely. In terms of the like split testing and kind of like improving further, are there any, like, so from your expertise, because obviously you've tested and seen like so many different landing pages, what are the main, like, if you were to identify the 3 main elements or 3 things that you would just focus on testing first with, and that would give you like the biggest
change? Yeah, sure. So as far as building a new landing page or optimizing a current landing page, like we have what's called, like I said, our blueprint, which is internal. We're going to be releasing this soon as a kind of guide, but we have an internal blueprint, and at the moment it's a roughly about, I think it's 42 points. Now, for us, because we're landing page geeks, this is all we do. All of those points are really important. Now, I'm not saying they're huge. They don't all add 2% or 5% here. There are far more important ones than the whole 42. And I'll just touch on a few quickly, if that's okay. And then maybe I'll go into the kind of split testing question. But the most important things that we see that have a massive uplift on conversion rates is, first and foremost, is page speed. Now, everyone in the Facebook groups, everyone talks about it, but very rarely do people even bother doing it. Like we said at the beginning of this call, everyone's always trying to scale. Everyone's always trying to get more traffic, squeeze that little extra bit of traffic. Like, just focus on a bit of page speed on your site and you'll get that uplift anyway. So when it comes to like ecom, lead gen, anything on ecom, if your page is loading slower than sort of 4 to 5 seconds, then you really need to speed it up. On lead gen, it's kind of 2 to 3 seconds. Now, how do you do this? if you just get your landing page or your website or your store and you go to gtmetrics.com, or the best tool that's available, it's not ready available, they don't make it available on the front end of their site, but it is free, is tools.pingdom.com. Now, this is the best way to test your site. You input your URL, and it'll basically spit out how quick your landing page loads. Now, it's not just going to tell you the load time and the size of the file. It's also going to tell you how you can improve the load time. The easiest possible way to increase your load time is A, get rid of all your plugins and additional scripts, and B, is to optimize your images and videos. Now, anyone, even if you're not technical, I'm not technical at all. Andy's far more technical, and we've got a whole team of devs, of course. But no, not at all. No, I always, no, not at all. Andy's the technical one. That's why I said, like, one of us is good at one thing and the other one's good at the other. But I mean, we have obviously a team of 30 to 40 devs that do all the work for us now, but I'm not technical at all. But anyone can do this. So go to tools.pingdom.com, put in your URL. It will tell you, it will more than likely, if you haven't optimized your page, it will say that your images can be compressed. Now, if you just Google free image compressor, there's hundreds of free browser tools that you can upload your images. So you just download all your images from your landing page, whether you're in ClickFunnels, Static, WordPress, whatever. Download all your images, ping them into this online browser software, run the script, and re-download them, and then re-upload them to your landing page, and you're instantly going to see a couple of second decrease in load speed, and you'll see an uplift in conversions, honestly, instantly. So that's one thing that people can just do instantly. One of the other important things is, like I said, is keep it simple, stupid. So we've all heard of KISS, keep it simple, stupid. And what I mean by that is don't overcomplicate things. So don't send traffic to a page with multiple products that they can buy. Just one product. You can bundle products. That works very well. So like, for example, if you're selling, I don't know, something like hairspray, you can have 1 can, 3 can, 5 can, make the 3 or the 5 the best value product, make it stand out more. That's fine, but don't sell hairspray and lip balm and shampoo all on the same landing page. Keep it simple, stupid. Just have one product, one focus, one call to action. Don't confuse your call to actions either. Just don't have like a form and a click to call button and a support number and a add to cart and a buy now and a rush my order button. Like, we've all seen it, but you just want to give someone one simple, clear call to action. So that's the second thing, keep it simple, stupid. A third thing that anyone can do listening to this call, and it might sound ridiculous and people laugh at me when I say it, but it's working, is add emojis to your buttons. So we live in a generation whereby everyone's using emojis on Facebook, WhatsApp, Skype, whatever it may be. And people kind of interact with that. They relate to that. So adding like a simple emoji to the call to action on your button using some Unicode, just Google how to add emojis to buttons. There's loads of guys, you don't need me to tell you. It has a real uplift in click-through rates and add to cart clicks. So for example, like, let's say you're offering a trial, rush my trial with a countdown clock works really well. If you're doing add to cart with a shopping cart emoji works really well. The most one we see has a biggest uplift is, if you're watching, if you can see on the live video, is the kind of pointing emoji like this. This works really well. So just add that to the end of your call to action, and you'll instantly see an uplift in add to carts and click-throughs. It's mad. I know, it's crazy, the science behind it. There's a couple more. Can I share a couple more with you?
Yeah. Awesome stuff.
Cool. Thank you. So another one is something that we eat, sleep, live, breathe here in the landing page, guys, is called the AIDA principle. I'm sure you're probably aware of it, but for some of your listeners who aren't, it stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. Now, I always say to people, if you imagine a piece of paper, so you imagine a piece of paper in front of you, this is your landing page printed out, right? You want to split your landing page sections into 4 sections that follow the AIDA principle. So I'm not going to do it justice on this video, but if you Google the AIDA principle, you'll be able to read it. But I'm going to give you a quick run through of what it is. Attention. So how do we get people's attention? So let's imagine the top of that landing page, the top of that piece of paper, get their attention. We do that with a very clear headline, a supporting headline, bullet points about your product, an image probably of your product, and then that call to action with a button. Also, don't forget, this is going to be my 5th point, and I'll go into it in a little bit more detail after the AIDA principle, but the 5th point is social proof. So always make sure you have a testimonial above the fold. Anyone who's watching this, if they're running paid traffic to any type of landing page, I don't care if it's a product page, a lead gen page, an advertorial, and you don't have a testimonial above the fold, you're losing money. Okay, so just add that testimonial. So that's your attention. Then it's the second section. So second section of your landing page of that piece of paper is interest. How do I pique the consumer's interest? Now, normally this is done by talking more about the product. So we're talking about like product pictures, description of the product, what's included in the project. Again, I could go on for hours, but when it comes to this section, you want to talk about benefits instead of features. So we as drop shippers or as product owners, we always tend to go to features first because we're really proud of the features that our product has. But you and I, as a consumer who clicked through on this ad, couldn't give a shit about the features. All we want to know is, how is this going to benefit us? So how is it going to benefit us? And that's how you want to position that interest section. This is going to save you time, make you more money, and make your life better. How can we visually show that? So that's interest. Third section down the page, down the landing page piece of paper, is desire. So AIDA principle, desire. And desire is really important. It's that social proof. So it's testimonials, case studies, use cases. It's pictures of people using your product, reviewing your product. People say to me like, oh, you know, I can't get a review, I can't get a testimonial. Well, I don't care if you go and ask your friends or your next door neighbors, or, you know, send out an email and offer them a free gift card for a selfie on their phone. Like, the more authentic and poor looking your reviews, the better they convert. So they need to be real reviews. And then that's desire. And then the bottom bit of the piece of paper or the landing page is action. And that's where the keep it simple, stupid comes into account. What is the clearest way possible, the clearest call to action that I can get someone to add this to cart, to fill out a form, to give me a phone call, whatever that call to action is? Don't confuse it. So AIDA principle is huge. And I'm just going to quickly touch on point 5 because I've talked too much. But point 5 is social proof. So testimonials. We live in a generation whereby if you were going to book a hotel or a restaurant, whatever, you would Google that restaurant or that hotel first, wouldn't you?
Sure.
We all do it. We do it on products we buy. We do it on services we pay for. So we need to give them no excuse to go off of our landing page and to do that. So put that in front of them, save that. So that's why I said above the fold, you should always have, like, look at this. We've even got it in like our backdrop. So you see this 5 stars, this is all social proof. So above the fold on your sales pages, you need to have 5 stars. And then above those 5 stars, you need to have a real life picture of a person and a testimonial about your product. Any social proof is great. Trust proof is great. So like payment seals, buy your buy now buttons have the merchant processor seals like Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, whatever you accept, because people relate to this. They can trust those brands. They then therefore trust your payments and your payment processor, and they're more likely to add it to cart. So social proof and trust proof is massive as well.
Man, this is so good. I'll listen to this recording and I'll take notes.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And so good. And like, what's good about this is that the way you explained it, you know, it's like you explained this like, so break it down into sections, right? So it's like, you know, now it's like makes more sense, because then like how do I build a landing page, you know, like, or how do I, you know, like now you break it down into sections. Now it makes so much more sense. And now it's just like pulling all of these like elements together and then adding more things to it. So
absolutely, you're right. You need to add a few more things. Like FAQs are huge as well. Like it's that whole thing of FAQs. Like, don't give them an excuse to Google a question about your product or ring your customer care. Just put it on the landing page.
Man, this is so good. This is so good. Like framework, like to think about it. Like, so keep people on the page. Give them everything so they stay on that page.
Don't give them an excuse to click off. I mean, we even do now, like, you know, like in your footer, you have to have, like, obviously for Facebook terms and services and stuff, you need to have a policy. You need to have like links to your terms and service, your contact, your customer care, even the silliest things like those we put in pop-up modals. So people aren't clicking through to new pages. So you still stay on that landing page. Like, it's little things like this that, you know, that's why we are called the landing page guys. And that's why that's all we do. And, you know, we've been doing this for 6-7 years successfully, and I've never paid for a paid ad before in our life. It's all referrals. So it's great, but this is how kind of geeky we get with it. But this is how we squeeze out those extra margins and those bigger conversion rates.
Awesome, man. And then in terms of the copy, right? Like copy is like also the big one, right? Like, do you guys also handle the copy, or? Yeah.
Yeah, not right now. We don't handle it internally, but we do have a partner that we work with full time. He started off as a freelancer, but he now pretty much just works for our clients. But it's not in house. But you will be intro to him if you want, and then you can work with him. And he works with our designers and development team. He's part of the team. He's just not employed by us, basically. So yeah, we can handle that as an additional cost, or you can provide the content and copy, and we'll kind of design from there.
Awesome.
But yeah, you're right. It's so important.
In terms of like, so all of these, like, so you mentioned like those like 4 elements, right? And obviously, you know, there's like above default sync, right? Like above default. So some of the content needs to be above default. So you mentioned, because I see so many people miss it, like they just have like, you know, even for me, you know, I'm not like specialist in like landing pages like you, but you know, I'm seeing with some landing pages and it just like, it doesn't grab you, you know, from that, like, you know, above default. So from your experience, what are the main elements that need to be like above default?
Above
so
that,
you mentioned
yeah.
social proof.
Yes. So it's like, it's a great question because it is so important, because you have, I think it's roughly 3 seconds to get your value proposition above the fold across to someone before they click away. Like that's the average amount of time that someone will stay on your landing page from an ad if you don't pique their interest. So it's really important. So the classic elements and the classic way we see this work is headline. So very clear headline. Again, don't forget, talk about benefits. Do not talk about features. And I want to give you a little case study of that. This is one of my favorite things that when we do talks at Affiliate World, Affiliate Summit, this is one of my favorite slides. There's 2 ads, okay? And you may have heard this. There's 2 ads. They're both selling exactly the same thing. They're selling a phone, okay? Now, this ad here has a picture of the phone. This ad has the same picture, but they have different headlines. This ad says, the brand new 12 megapixel super zoom 2x4 8x9 super duper camera, right? And this ad says, this camera will take life lasting pictures of your family that will last forever. And that ad, the ad that talks about obviously the benefit versus to the features, converts way, way better than that ad. And that's how you have to think about on your landing page. So if some of you are watching this and you click through to your pages and you have like this headline that says about the best feature, blah, 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 see how you can flip that feature to a benefit and your conversion will skyrocket. So when it comes to that headline, sub-headline, think about benefits. Then you want bullet points. Bullet points are really, really good. So always go for like 3 or 5. For some reason, don't ask me why, but odd numbers convert better than evens. And you want to highlight some of the bullet points. We see it so many times where people have like a list of bullet points, but it's just plain text. It's just boring. People don't read it. So make sure you make some of the font bigger and bold on the key important bits. That works really well. So you've got headline, sub-headline, bullet points. A picture of someone using the product or your product works very well above the fold. So you instantly kind of can see, you know, that's the product I'm on. Now, again, I can't reiterate this point anymore, but if you don't have a testimonial and these 5 stars, just put 5 stars and put something like, you know, rated 5 stars by 105 people, whatever number you've been reviewed by. But if you don't have those 5 stars, you're losing money. So have those 5 stars with a real life testimonial above, and make sure that the testimonial has a picture of the person, because people relate with people. And then the only other thing I would really strongly suggest above the fold is maybe some form of scarcity. Now, I'm not talking, you know, we've both been in this industry for a while. I'm not talking these kind of like big red flashy banners that says like, only 2 left, you have 1 second to add the cart. But some form of kind of subtle scarcity does really work, like, or some form of, again, like a benefit. So like, again, people who are doing drop shipping or selling products often make this mistake. And this is another mistake when you ask me about mistakes we see, is they get so hung up on shipping costs that their conversions just drop off. Because what they do is they put the cost on the front page, people add the cart and they go to the checkout. And then obviously all of a sudden you've got like a shipping cost of $5, $6, and they get so much drop off that, you know, they come to us and they're like, well, we can't sell, we can get add to carts, but no one buys our product. And we're like, well, why are you having a shipping cost? Why not on the front end have one of those banners at the top that says, bang, 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 you've qualified for free shipping, you know, check out now to get your free shipping. And instead of having your product being $10 plus $5 shipping cost that's going to turn everyone off, just have your product as $15 and free shipping. So little things like that really work as well. So like just having those banners that say like you qualify for free shipping and stuff really works as well. But above the fold, it's just all about that headline, sub-headline, bullet points, product picture, testimonial, social proof, and any kind of trust seals and badges that you want to throw in there. So again, like if you can get just below the fold, like brands we work with, or magazines we've been featured in. You've seen it all before, like back in the guru days when everyone was saying, you know, I've got it on my website, like, oh, I've been featured on Forbes and Entrepreneur, like those things work. I have actually been featured on those articles, by the way, but those things work. Like, you know, we've been featured in OK Magazine, Hello Magazine, like that works as well. So it's all about that social proof. And again, buy all your call to actions, emoji on the button, and then have those supporting payment processors. So if you're using Shopify, for example, and you accept Visa, Maestro, PayPal, or, you know, whatever, put those little card icons. Everyone knows what I'm on about. The card icons just below the button, because it's just trust. Everyone associates with these brands, and they think if these guys are using these brands, they're a reputable company. We're going to utilize them.
Very good, man. And in terms of, so you've been in the space like 6-7 years. You've been specializing in this, right? And
correct. Yeah.
What changed? Like, for example, 6-7 years ago, did any other
the rush my trial my trial changed. The biggest switch we've seen is that affiliate marketers have to adapt. We know that, like, it's forever changing, but you know, it's gone from affiliate marketer to I'm an e-commerce marketer, whatever. Like the shift has just come because it's way more regulated. The thing that we're seeing just internally now is that we encourage it as well, because you've got to think about longevity. Like, gone are the days of where you can just throw up a health Garcinia product, rush my trial, you know, free shipping, free package, whatever, rebill. It just doesn't, you know, some people are probably still doing it. We don't agree with it ethically anyway, but you know, that doesn't really exist anymore. It's now more about longevity. It's about building brands. And that's what we're doing more and more of. We're building real brands. We're building real, for me, it's actually fun. I much prefer these type of projects because I know that they're going to be around for a long time. And if we can work with, you know, we've worked with some huge brands, but if we can work to create a huge brand, it's really, really exciting. If we can say, like, you know, that's the next brand. We've had brands that have gone on to sell millions, that we've designed their sales funnels and stores and stuff, which is really exciting. So the biggest swing we've seen is everyone's taking it a little bit more seriously now, and more trying to be a legit business with a brand, with a style guide, with you know, not so much ridiculous claims and flashing buttons and rush my order, you know, countdown timers and stuff like that. You know, and yes, you might make a bit more money, a bit less money in the short term, but you're also building up an asset that can be sold in the long term. And I personally think that's a big plus for the industry.
Awesome. So the next thing for you is to, like, scale your own e-commerce project?
we don't, like, we just, you know, I was going to use a very British phrase then, but it's quite rude, so I won't. But we don't I'll say it, we don't shit on our own doorstep. Like, we don't mess with what our clients mess with. You know, we are the experts in landing page, guys. It's the reason we don't offer copy. We don't offer copy or content because it's a completely different ball game. You know, our partner does that. We don't run internal traffic because we're not pretending that we're here to sell traffic or run, you know, we're busy enough scaling this company. So our big focus is growing landing page, guys, and growing out our offering and moving into more of the CRO space, and having these constant kind of success stories. And mine and Andy's big focus now of over the past kind of 16 months to 2 years is building this internal hub in the UK, this big culture, this company, and hiring and trying to kind of really scale up here. So, you know, I'd love to, but it wouldn't make sense because I know nothing. You know, obviously we know how to build landing pages that convert, but I don't know how to drive traffic or, you know, do all the other stuff that goes with it.
I mean, man, it's so good. Like you have this like focus, because, you know, a lot of people, they would do like one thing, like for a few years, like for example, Facebook, and then like they would jump on another thing and another thing. Obviously you can do that if you have like,
I mean, I'm not saying that I've not done that in the past, because like I know what that feels like. I sold a company obviously a couple of years ago, and I don't know if you've ever sold a company or any of your listeners have, but when you sell a company it was, you know, it's quite a large deal. You instantly think you're kind of you're unbreakable. Anything you launch is going to be a success. And I had that problem where I kind of, all of a sudden you get people saying, oh, you've sold, like, why don't we partner together and do this and this and this? And I had like 4 or 5 businesses running and 4 or 5 ideas, because that's what I do enjoy. And that's why I have like a side project at the moment, because it's almost like my hobby. Like I feel like everyone should have their day-to-day business, but you should also have a side project. We encourage our staff to have their own websites and their own projects outside of work, because and we can help them with it, because it keeps you fresh, it keeps you on the point. So I scaled back from having like 5 of those to 1, and now Landing Page Guys is growing bigger than ever, and that other side project's going well. But it's the second we went focused about 16 months to 2 years ago, is the second we were able to scale rapidly, and we're now on a fast trajectory, which is great.
So that was the moment where you decided to focus on the landing page and just be like expert in that one thing.
Yes. So like we said, we've had this company for now 6-7 years. And for the first kind of 4 or 5 years, myself and Andy, my co-founder, we did everything. So we were project management, we were client success, we were sales, you name it. Andy dipped into the code, I dipped into design. We still had a smaller team, but we basically did everything. And we sat down with each other about, like I say, kind of 1.5 years ago now. And we said, do we want to do this for another 4 or 5 years? Do we want to do exactly the same thing that we've been doing? Or do we want to scale this business properly and get it to where we want? We're very, very much aligned on our like vision and goal. Like we've always spoke about, it's quite cliche, but we've always spoke about having that large culture and family and big like company with a big office space where everyone's getting results for our clients and having a great time at the same time. And there's a buzz and a culture. And it was something that we weren't doing, because we were managing everything, outsourcing everything. We didn't have we had a small office for me and Andy, and we kind of had that aha moment where we were like, okay, it's shit or bust now. We either go for it or we don't. So we went for it. And so far, touch wood, obviously, everything comes with its struggles and different challenges, but they're exciting challenges now. And we're now at 7 here internally. We're just bringing on another sales guy hopefully next month, so that'll be 8 internally. We're up to 40 now externally that the project management team manage, a team of 40 designers, developers, and we're doing like 50 to 100 projects per month now. So it's really exciting. It's good. That's my buzz now. I love it. Yeah.
Very good, man. Yeah, I'm not. I think we should talk about. We have some things.
100%. Yeah, love to.
Awesome. So how do people get in touch with you? Like, for example, if they have like, let's say like a winning product, let's say because for example, even, some of my clients, some of my students, they have products that do like, $100,000, $400,000, $500,000 per month, in sales. Yep. They still use ClickFunnels, Zipify pages. And so,
I would say if I was that client now, yeah, absolutely. But if I was that client now listening to this, I'd be very excited. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, and so so what does it? How does they get in touch with you?
Absolutely. First and foremost, like we're here to help and educate. But if that was a conversation they wanted to have, they can just simply go to landingpageguys.com. And get in touch, just fill in the form, ask to speak to me directly if you want to, but we have a sales team who are brilliant, and they're very knowledgeable about what we do. It's just about having that conversation. Let's jump on the phone, let's learn about what you're doing right now, and let's get you some better results. Like, again, like you mentioned ClickFunnels, we're not knocking ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is a great product. And like you say, you have students of your own. I know how successful, I've seen how successful you and your students are, you're brilliant. But sometimes, like you say, you have students doing $500,000 on ClickFunnels, but we can pull it out. They might be getting their kind of 2-3% conversions. We can pull it out the exact same looking funnel, but purely because of that page speed and purely because it's not restricted, we can make it far more responsible, cross-browser compatible. And just by doing that with the same design, you'll get an uplift in conversion rates, let alone like us coming in and designing a new fully optimized, those were 5 out of 42 points I've just touched on. Like, this is just what we do. I know it's very niche. I know it's very geeky. I know it's often kind of looked over. And that's what my job is now, is to educate people into why they need landing pages and why they should be pulling stuff out of ClickFunnels and stores and focusing on these. That's my main driver now and my focus for our company. And that's why we kind of do these interviews and podcasts, because I believe like we 9 times out of 10 see amazing results and people are so happy. So, everyone wants to make more money. We want to make more money. You want to make more money. So, let's do it together.
Awesome stuff. So guys, check out landingpageguys.com, right?
Right. And if you want some kind of free tips and stuff, just go on to landingpagelab.com. So we've got a Facebook group called The Lab, which we basically share all these kind of videos and tips and stuff on a weekly basis. So we'd love to see some of your guys over there.
Awesome stuff.
And we need to interview you in the lab as well.
Yeah, man, let's do this. Thank you so much. I mean, so many good points. I have to listen, to write down the notes, because it's like, so what you said, like a lot of those things, like very common sense. And, I think about some of these, some of the things we have on our own, projects. And
like, you're probably thinking I can do that instantly. And that's the beauty of it. Like, that's why I love it. Like one small little change.
Why that wasn't done?
But that's the beauty of it. Like, again, this is what we do. So I don't expect you or your listeners to kind of know these things, but hopefully some people will pick up some great tips, make some changes, and see some massive uplifts in conversion rates. And it's exciting. Like, something as stupid as adding an emoji to your button, if you're doing high volume traffic, can make a big difference. So I would just plead whoever's listening, you don't have to use us. Don't get in touch with us. We're not here to sell, but make a change. Like, just take some action, make that change. And like, you'll probably be emailing me, sending me money anyway if you do.
Awesome stuff, man. One more thing, one last question. In terms of like testing and split testing, kind of like, like taking this like farther, identifying like what works, what do you guys typically use like Visual Website Optimizer, or use something else?
Sorry, I was meant to touch on that one earlier. So great question. So we are actually adding a CRO. We don't currently offer after sales CRO. So we don't currently offer conversion rate optimization. Basically, very rarely, but if your page doesn't convert what you expected, you come back to us. We can make some tweaks and change it until it does convert. That happens. But we don't offer a month-to-month service, but it's something we're offering very, very soon. So watch this space. However, we do have experience with CRO. You're absolutely right. VWO.com, Visual Website Optimizer, is great. Google Optimize is good. Optimizely is good as well. There's various different tools out there. But what I would suggest, if anyone wants to do split testing, A/B testing, multivariate testing. Okay, so I would start with split testing. So this is how it works. So you say you have one sales page, for example. If you use someone like us or someone else, one of our competitors, or you build your own funnels, start with doing like 2 to 3 funnels. Start with doing 2 to 3 pages, variations. Send traffic to those 2 to 3 and record which one converts best. Find the winner. When you've got the winner, then you need to do multivariate testing. So what that means is you use something like VWO or Google Optimize, and you set up these multivariate tests. Now, the thing that people get wrong with multivariate testing is they jump in and multivariate test many different elements at once. So they'll multivariate test the headline, the button, the image, the call to action, the testimonial, the proposition. And the trouble is, when you do that, is you have too much data to analyze which one had the effect. So we always say, start with that headline or the call to action. So whether it's just pick that button to start with, for example, that add to cart button, and just spin it between 10 different colors. Drive traffic to it and let one of these optimization tools tell you which button color converts best. Then move on to the headline. Then spin the headline to say 5 different things. Split traffic to it, see which one converts best, then move on to the image. So one item at a time, because then you have clear results and you can pinpoint which had the effect on the conversion rate. So start with split testing, then move to multivariate testing. When you do multivariate testing, make sure you do one element at a time, and you'll find some winners.
And in terms of like statistical significance, like what are you typically aiming for?
In what sense, sorry? In uplift? Or?
Yeah. It's like what kind of like statistical significance when you're like doing the split testing, what kind of like percentage you're typically looking for?
It totally depends what niche and what your traffic quality is and what vertical you're in. But again, with paid traffic, like you mentioned, you've got students doing 500,000 on Facebook per month, which is great. At that volume, even like a 0.2% uplift in conversion rates is a lot. It means big things. So, you know, you rarely do we see multivariate testing jump the needle as much as, say, for example, coming to us for a new sales lander. But if you're doing volume, then you 100% need to do it, and you will gradually lift that needle. So, you know, even like 1 to 2% is a huge uplift for just doing some multivariate testing that takes you 20 minutes to set up. So always be testing, always be launching new landing pages, new angles, split testing. But yeah, multivariate testing is huge, 100%.
Awesome stuff, man. So many insights, guys. Yeah, if you're looking to pretty much take your funnels, your store to the next level, get in touch with Oliver. I think we'll drop the link somewhere so people get in touch with you.
Thank you.
And so many insights. Have to rewatch, take notes, and you know, just implement some of this stuff immediately.
I appreciate it. I've really enjoyed it, and congratulations. You've made such a wicked group, and I really appreciate you as well.
Thank you very much, Oliver. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Oliver, thank you very much for joining it, and I think we'll be connecting soon.
Sounds good. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks.